Okay, so I recorded this once already, had it edited and everything, but then it got copyright strike, so this is attempt number 2. 17 is a really good group.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
And they're very talented and versatile with endless talent, but they're also entertaining to watch and they have good music. Like, as a fan, I've won the lottery, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself that it took me this long to get into them. I'd been listening to their songs here and there throughout my years as a K-pop stan, like Don't Wanna Cry, Very Nice, Boom Boom, and Left and Right, but it wasn't right until Super that I got into a 17 rabbit hole. And girl, I don't regret it at all. But I don't know about you, but I was surprised when I saw the reception Maestro got. Maybe it was just my timeline, but I felt like the signs were pointing against 17 with this comeback, even before it dropped. But I stayed hopeful, and I was looking forward to this comeback, as Super and God of Music, although very different, had scratched that itch in the back of my brain that I was longing for when it comes to boy group music. And I did see the things about AI, which I know why people don't like that kind of technology, but I'm not well versed in it, and from what I saw, I think some of it got removed afterwards from the music video, which I guess was Pledis' way of dealing with the backlash they received. But I just wanted to focus on the song itself and what Maestro means for 17's discography and their artistry. Let's jump right into it. Maestro is a song with R&B dance elements, and it is a track that has several samples from 17's older title tracks, such as Very Nice, Oh My, Fear, Rock With You, Cheers, and Super, showcasing 17's musical and artistic growth to this very moment with Maestro. Which, fun fact, I didn't even know that until I was on TikTok watching a review of the song when a top comment pointed out how Maestro sampled several of their older songs, and I had to look it up, and it was even confirmed by Uzi himself on Weverse, so I had to re-listen to it with this in mind, and it was really cool to see how they incorporated the samples throughout the song. But what is a maestro? Maestro, as defined by Oxford Languages, is a distinguished conductor or performer of classical music. Basically, they are the conductor that gives directions and leads musicians in a classical performance. If you have ever watched a performance of an orchestra, then you'll most likely have seen a maestro. But who is the maestro in this case? Well, it's 17. In the context of the song, 17 are declaring themselves as the maestro. But the maestro to who? Who are they leading? In the first verse, the following lines are said: played in one standard pitch, a 17 stereoscope, and because we changed the world. In music, a standard pitch is the frequency in which a conductor guides the group to tuning among various performing groups, and in this case it's 17 basically symbolizing that they are the conductor directing their group. A scherzo is the light or playful composition, typically in a symphony and sonata. Already from the beginning, there is a lot of musical terms being used to illustrate their position as the maestro. The line at the end of the first verse, because we changed the world, is the part that reveals who 17 are directing after establishing themselves as the ones leading. They are leading the world towards change. But a change for what? The second verse continues with the lines: I changed the rhythm like this. Just tell me which rhythm, your wish is my command, and I see us finally become one. It sounds like a conversation, an exchange between 17 and the audience, with 17 switching the rhythm, aka the change they want to make, and the audience responding with tell me the change and your wish is my command. The responder is acknowledging that they're following 17's lead and how they're becoming one. The pre-chorus continues on with Accelerando, Rise to the Top, a sonata that rings from high above and following the maestro's lead. An accelerando is a tempo mark directing that a passage is to be played at an increasing speed, that the maestro is speeding up the play. This can symbolize how 17 is heading to the top at an increasing speed, and now that they're at the top, the sonata rings from high above. Personally, I think the sonata in this case could be their voices, their passion and hard work, and once again 17 telling the audience to follow their lead. The post-chorus further confirms how they have risen to the top with the good vibe, good life, and we go global line. The bridge has 17 telling the audience, look at us in harmony, which 17 are known for being a group that is super close with each other despite them being 13 members, and being known for their level of synchronization when they perform. Any performance of them, and you just see how much they're in harmony. The bridge ends off with rise to a crescendo, a tempo for a final movement. A crescendo is the gradual increase in loudness or when the musical piece is at its loudest. In Kpop, the crescendo would be the bridge and the dance break, when they are at the part when the audience feels the most hyped. 17 are telling us their final movement ends at the crescendo, when they are the loudest, just proving their confidence and how they're ending this with a bang. Side note, the bridge is my favorite part. Something about the 8th line has forever altered my brain. I can't stop thinking about the hand choreo for it. Anyways, back to the point. What does any of this mean? 17 are using themselves and the audience as a metaphor. They're the ones leading and we are being led. What I felt like they were declaring is how they want to pave their own sound, image, and become a group to be remembered. And to do that, they have to rise to the top. And they have been rising. And once they're at the top, they can also inspire others to be themselves and make your own sound. 17's trajectory as a group is an interesting one. They always had a very stable fandom, but a few years back during the height of third gen groups being around, I don't think anyone really predicted them getting this big. Or maybe Carrots did. They're a group with massive control over their music, with Uzi being the biggest contributor as their producer, alongside Bumzo and Vernon. He's always credited on all of their songs, and the rest of the members have many credits and contributions too, whether it's writing and composing, especially with Vernon and the hip-hop unit. And this has been the case since their debut, which shows how much of their success is through their hard work and through their artistic input. To confidently announce their rising to the top is something they've earned. After I became a Carrot, I started looking into their music process, and it's really cool seeing how involved they are, down to the making of the theme song for their variety show Going 17. And I really love watching the sketch videos for their comeback preparations, performance practices, and even the production sketch for Busaksun's subunit, where you can watch almost the entire process of how the single album Second Wind came together. They have a lot of passion and love for their artistry, which isn't to say other groups don't, but I think it was due time for them to acknowledge that themselves in a way that's bold, and yet still gets the point across in the form of storytelling through classical music. Like, I don't know who sat down and was like, yeah, let's do this, but I think it's genius and super clever. As 17 continues to enter their 10th anniversary soon, and how they've already renewed their contracts, they will be a group for the unseeable future. I can't wait to see what more they have to show. This video was kind of difficult to make as someone who has absolutely no clue about classical music. And seeing all of these terms and looking up what they mean and trying to incorporate them into the script had me more confused if anything. But it was fun, and at the same time I enjoyed it. And I decided not to get into the music video itself because if I'm being honest, I didn't know what I was watching half the time, besides them dancing, Wonder's fighting scene, and the obvious references to them being a maestro. I've posted several videos in a row. I don't know why. Maybe I should be stopped. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm Black Rocket. Bye!